Today, we're going to talk about the Part D prescription drug program, so it's not so confusing. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Jamin White, and I am founder of Four Oaks Medicare Planning. So, Part D prescription drug plans. The government did not do us any favors on making these not complex. The rules behind Part D plans seem to be really confusing. And so, what I want to do is bring a little bit of simplicity and a little bit of clarity to the Part D prescription drug program under Medicare. So, there's two ways that you can get a Part D drug plan under Medicare. You don't go directly to the government. You can get a standalone Part D drug plan that private companies offer, or you can get a drug plan that's embedded within a Part C Medicare Advantage plan. Again, private companies offer these options. So while Part D plans are regulated under the Medicare system, the plans are offered by private companies, so you don't sign up for a Part D plan like you sign up directly for Part A and Part B. So what makes these so confusing is they're very different than what you're used to with probably your insurance coverage that you've had through like an employer plan. You know, you might be used to paying like a copay, a straight copay throughout the year. It doesn't go up and down and vary. And that's what can happen with Part D prescription plans. You can go through different stages of coverage, and depending upon what stage you're in, will tell you under that plan how much you're going to pay for that prescription. So that just what that means is the very first month you might pay a different amount for a prescription as opposed to month 6 or month 7. And that's what causes a lot of confusion as you move through these different stages. Now, the higher cost the medication is, you're more likely to go through the stages as opposed to generics and those things where you might not have to go through any of the stages. In particular, you might just stay in one stage. So what's really, really important is the 4 stages are the deductible stage, the initial coverage stage, the coverage gap or the donut hole, that's number 3, and then 4 is catastrophic coverage where you pay just a small coinsurance amount or a copay for the medications. Now, I don't want to get into like how you move through these different stages because you can go to medicare.gov and put in your prescriptions and it'll kind of show you that. I have a program that I utilize that I'll put in all of your medications and it'll tell you, calculate it for us on where you'll enter different stages. And that's really usually the best way to figure out how your medications are going to be. Now, it's really important that you think about a prescription drug plan that is tailored to your specific medications. The reason is because each plan can treat your medications differently depending upon what tier your medication is found under the plan, and then also what the formulary of the plan is. So the tiers are the systems. There's like tier 1 through like tier 5. Some have tier 6. Usually that's a different category, tier 6, but tier 1 through 5, as you go up, you'll pay more. Usually those are much more expensive medications up to like specialty medicines. The other is formulary. Now, every prescription drug plan has to offer, I believe, at least 2 prescriptions that treat like a therapeutic category, like a specific condition. But they're not required to cover all of the medications for that condition. So what we would want to look at is just to make sure that your formulary is the drug is in your formulary. And then obviously we want the prescription to be as low of a tier as possible because that's where we will save the most money. And so that's why sometimes if a husband, wife, spouses will have, even if they're in the same household, they'll have a different drug plan. And that is very, very common. So now one thing that's important is there's new legislation that's phasing in now, and we're going to go into that in just a little bit, but just keep in mind, things are changing in the Part D drug plan world. And so all of these things can impact you on your particular prescription drug plan as you're going on it and through the years. Now, one thing about drug plans is they usually are tied with a premium, But if you're a higher income earner, just like for Part B, just wanted you to note that you can pay a surcharge essentially for your drug plan. And so in 2023, they look back at 2021, but you'll see kind of what that looks like. So if you are below a certain level, it's just the premium itself. But the government will attach a little bit of an income adjusted amount depending upon where you fall. This is easily obtainable. They update this every single year. You can find it online or let me know and I can always send you a copy. So the Inflation Reduction Act is something that was passed last year, and essentially it gives some relief in many of the areas under Part D drugs. And so there's some things that have been phasing in. And so I just want you to look at this and know about it. It will impact you on sometimes whether you even go on to Medicare or not if you have a choice, because sometimes prescriptions can be so expensive under Medicare in the past, whereas now there's some protections that are being built in. So for example, in this year, they put a cap on insulin medications of $35. In 2024, next year, they're going to eliminate the catastrophic coverage phase co-insurances. And so you'll notice the 5% is going away. That'll impact a lot of people where their prescription is crazy expensive and 5% is still a lot. It's going to go to zero, which is great if you hit that phase. In 2025, they're going to put in a maximum out of pocket of $2,000 under the Part D drug plan, which is amazing. It's awesome. And then you'll notice there's also some drug pricing negotiations that are happening to maybe get a better deal on your prescription costs. The Medicare is going to be allowed to negotiate and help put in some savings there as well. So just be on the lookout for that, and that's all being calculated in when you're looking at your drug plan. So when do you enroll in a Part D drug plan, particularly when you're going and turning 65? You're going to do it within that 7-month initial enrollment period. Make sure that if you don't have other creditable coverage like VA or maybe a creditable drug plan under an employer plan, make sure you enroll in a drug plan. If you do not, then you will be subject to a penalty. And that penalty will accrue every single month you don't have a drug plan until you finally get one, and then it'll attach to the premium, and it's a lifetime penalty. So it's a 1% of the average cost of a national drug plan. So usually it's not very much, but it accumulates every single month, and that's what can cause it to grow larger. Now, if you are working past 65, I want you to know that the time period to enroll in a drug plan is actually different than the time to enroll in Medicare Part A and Part B. So just be on the lookout for that. You have a 2-month window to enroll in Part D after you're losing your employer coverage. So keep that in mind because that can cause a little bit of a problem if you delay going into a Part D drug plan after losing employer coverage. The other thing about is, what do I do if my prescriptions change? Well, the government allows you to change your drug plan at least one time a year during the annual election period. That annual election period goes from October 15th to December 7th, and that's when you can change your drug plan. That's when you can come on to a new drug plan for the first time if you decided not to do it when you previously could, and then it would start on January 1. These are calendar year based plans, so they go from January 1 to December 31. I sure hope you found this information helpful. Part D drug plans can be really confusing, and they're really specific to your needs. So if you want to talk about your specific situation, go to my website, go to the link below, schedule a quick little appointment, and I'll be happy to answer questions. Remember, all of my services are always free to you. You can also contact me by phone or by email. I'm always happy to assist you in your Medicare journey. I hope you found this informative. I have other videos available at my website. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.